right. Shalom, shalom. We the brothers of Great Millstone, the Church of Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, we want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Yeah, Yahweh will be the true name of the one you people out there know as God. Yahweh Shah will be the name of the one you people out there ignorantly refer to as Jesus Christ. All right, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, those are the correct names right there of the true powers of all heavens and earth. All right. I also want to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men whom we believe through faith to be raised up and established in these latter days, to bring forth the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah, and to convey this word in its proper form, in its purest form. I also want to say shalom, you brothers out there laboring in this work, as well as you believers out there and sisters of light that subscribe to this truth as well. So we back, once again in the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah, and this lesson right here is going to be, pretty much continuing in the spirit and theme of prophecy, all right? And one of the more anticipated prophecies out there, if you will, especially to the serious-minded, is the downfall, the destruction of this place, America, and the overthrow of the so-called white man, which the scriptures gives you a different, what would you call it, different layers, if you will, to this puzzle, or different puzzle pieces that you put together, and everything becomes clear. Right, the Lord is going to send forth a series of plagues in the form of perils and famine. You're going to have class wars. It's going to be a great famine to sweep through America. You're going to have the wild beasts of the field to change their place and wreak havoc on the inhabitants of the planet Earth. Just a swarm of activity that's going to contribute to ultimately the downfall of the so-called white man, the epic fall and crash and collapse of Esau. Okay, but one of the more detailed prophecies is the fact that the Lord is going to raise up this man against himself. There's plenty of scriptures on that. The Lord talked about how his tongue is going to fall upon his tongue. The Egyptians is going to be set against the Egyptians. And in that act alone, that's a chink in the armor. Whenever you have two people who's supposed to be together, or a group of people, and they bumping heads, then that's the time to attack. Because in order for you to get anything done, you have to see eye to eye. Matter of fact, could you give me that? Amos?
Yeah,
Amos, I think, is 9 and 9. Or 9 and 2 or something like that. No, I think it's 9 and 9. How could two walk?
Oh, you talking about, you said they be agreed?
Yeah.
Oh, this Amos 3.
Amos 3 and 3, yep.
Yeah, Amos 3 and 3. It said, can two walk together except they be agreed?
See, except you be agreed. So whenever you begin to bump head, and you no longer see eye to eye, then that's what trouble looms. That's a potential chink in your armor. So right now what you're witnessing in America is a nation divided. Okay? And we're gonna take an in-depth look into that concept, man. Because it's not just the nation in relation to Americans. No, it's actually Esau. The so-called white man is in turmoil. Right now, they would be considered that dysfunctional family, man. See that? That was it on that?
Yeah, that was it on that.
All right, so let's start off in the book of Isaiah, the 51st chapter, the 9th verse. Because again, this is epic. We're in epic times. We're in a time where the so-called white man is losing. He's losing his grip. He don't have that, this man had that sure, outlook on things. He spoke with a certain level of authority and assurance. But now they're not sure, man. They don't know what's going to happen from week to week, month to month, year to year. See that? Or the scripture tell you that it says about their days, the number of his days is a mystery unto him, something like that.
Yep.
See that? So this man, he's not sure where he's going. All right? So now go ahead.
This Isaiah 51 and 9. Awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord, awake as in the ancient days.
Right. And what did the Lord do when he awoke in the ancient days? He toppled kingdoms. Case in point, at the time of ancient Egypt. He overthrew the Pharaoh and his army. When the Lord awoke, he overthrew kings, man. See that? Go ahead.
It said, awake as in the ancient days, in the generations of old,
Yep.
art thou not it that have cut Rahab
Go ahead.
and wounded the dragon.
Read that again.
It said, art thou not it that have cut Rahab and wounded the dragon?
And wounded the dragon, right? So now, let's look at this. Let's go into the definition for this word wounded. I want you to go to the rest.
Oh, yeah, just regular. Okay, yeah, this is the word wound. Just pretty much off of Wikipedia. You know, it says wound. It says a wound is a type of injury which happens relatively quickly and which.
Relatively quickly. Give me I seen say.
Luke.
So this is a wound. This is a quick, decisive wound. You know, from Yahweh Shem Yahweh. All right, the Lord have suddenly. The scriptures tell you how Babylon is suddenly falling. You know, when something happens in suddenness, it's quick. You know. So this wound, what the Lord has afflicted, which this is a deadly wound right here, man. This is a wound that they're not going to recover from. Now, when you go back to the wound in ancient Rome, the Lord put a resilient spirit on them, you know, for the sake of prophecy, for them to come back into power. You know, the Lord put that persistent spirit on them, and they had that spirit of triumph, you know. But now, the Lord have delivered this place with a deadly blow, man. And this blow is so much of a blow to where this devil is not going to be able to recover. All right, this is a deadly wound. All right, so you got that?
Yeah, it's Luke 10 and 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Right, meaning quickly. See? So this was like a quick hit, man. You know? So now this devil is staggering. The Lord has already delivered the blow. All right? So now, get that definition for wound again.
It says a wound is a type of injury which happens relatively quickly, in which skin is torn.
Okay, now keep that in mind. It said in which skin is torn. Now skin pretty much translates to flesh. All right? So it said in which skin is torn, go ahead.
Cut,
go ahead.
Or punctured.
So the skin is divided. All right? The skin is divided. See? Or the flesh is divided. Go ahead.
An open wound.
An open, see? Open wound. All right? Now, wounded. The dragon. Now, we just looked up the definition for wound. It means to divide the skin or the flesh, right? So let's see what this flesh symbolizes. Go ahead.
This Genesis 29:14. And Laban said unto him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught?
Right, so what's flesh? Flesh means that you are my kinsman, you are my brother. Matter of fact, let's click on that word flesh in the blue letter, right? So the scriptures say that the Lord has wounded this dragon. And again, wounds, it translates to dividing the skin or the flesh. Now we see that the flesh symbolizes kinsman. All right? Kinsman. And we're going somewhere with this, okay? So go ahead.
Yeah, this is the word flesh. In Genesis 29:14. And that word is Strong's H1320. Basar. And it says flesh of the body of humans, of animals, the body itself.
Jump down.
Okay, it says kindred.
See? Kindred. See? Go ahead.
Blood relations.
See that? Go ahead. That was it. So when the scriptures say, now go back to Isaiah 51. When the scriptures say that the Lord have wounded the dragon, that means he have divided the flesh, or he have divided Esau, the family of Esau. That house is divided. Okay? You got Edomites going up against Edomites. So go ahead, read that again.
This Isaiah 51:9. The arm of the Lord, awake as in the ancient days.
Yep, awake as in the ancient days. Go ahead.
In the generations of old, art thou not it that have cut off Rahab and wounded the dragon? So that's where we at now. That's what the definition for wound, it means to separate the skin or the flesh. Now we went in the scriptures and we see that the flesh symbolizes the kinsman. So it's not just an American thing.
It's an Edomite thing, man. Esau is divided across the board, globally. Even when, because you got guys like Vladimir Putin, that's an Edomite, man. Or, different, leaders over here in Germany, Angela Merkel. You see how they vehemently coming up against each other? Well, guess what? That's biblical prophecy, man. And this is one of the main signals, if you will, that shows that Esau is on his way out of here. Because again, how can two walk together? These they was agreed. All right, you got a precept? All right, now give me Matthew real quick.
This is Saint Matthew.
I'm going to get that in the blue level as well.
Yep, this is Saint Matthew 12. Well, I already got it lined up. Let's see. Saint Matthew 12. And I'm going to start at verse 25. St. Matthew 12:25.
And these are the words of Yahushua. Go ahead.
It said, and Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Every kingdom divided against itself. Go ahead. So that's that's self-explanatory. You're a kingdom, right? But go ahead, read on.
It said, in every city or house.
Or a house, right? Or a house. Go ahead.
Divided against itself shall not stand.
Now, going to the definition for this word house. Let's see if all this come together or not.
This is the word house, Strong's G 3614. It said, it says, a house inhabited edifies a dwelling, the inmates of a house, the family.
See, the family. See that? Read that again.
Alright, so going back, St. Matthew 12:25, it said, and Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself, it is brought to desolation, in every city or house.
Or house, or family. See? Go ahead.
Divided against itself shall not stand.
Right, so if this house is divided, or this flesh is divided, what's that? A womb.
Yep, that's it.
That's a womb. Because if I was to cut your arm, right, what's happening? That flesh is being divided.
Yep, that's it.
That flesh, which we went into the scriptures, that flesh symbolizes what? Kinsmen, or brothers. See that? So now with that, let's play a little of this video right here, which is going to give you somewhat of a feel, if you will, insight, a look into the nature of the so-called white man right now, in relation to what's happening in the pulse of the planet Earth right now, the state of the so-called white man. Let's see if they together. Go ahead.
Their places of employment are still closed due to Michigan's lockdown measures. So in protest of the orders...
This came out a day ago. All right, go ahead.
Closed due to Michigan's lockdown measures. So in protest of the orders, these barbers and spa workers took their businesses to the streets. And they're not the only ones. From a barber shop in Texas, to a gym in New Jersey, to this restaurant in Colorado. Thousands of small business owners and customers alike want their protest of the orders. These barbers and spa workers took their businesses to the streets.
Right, so
and they're not.
If you could see this is all Edomites, man. And they vehemently protesting the government's restrictions. All right, go ahead.
Only once, from a barber shop in Texas, to a gym in New Jersey, to this restaurant in Colorado. Thousands of small business owners and customers alike are rebelling against coronavirus-related...
They're rebelling, man. Which when you go into that word rebel, it's a compound word. All right, rebellion translates to war, and re means back. So they're going back to war. Okay? Which when you go into the history of America, the so-called white man has always fought each other, man. Give me Revelation the 6th chapter. World War I. What you think World War I was? That was white on white crime. You got these devils that try to set the narrative and frame black on black crime. Because you got a couple of knuckleheads, gangbangers in Compton, bump heads. I have a drive-over in Chicago, right? And they try to say black on black crime. Well, guess what? White on white crime was a global thing, man. World War I. World white crime. And not to mention the Civil War, man. Okay. Oh, the 3 wars: the Spanish American War, the French American War, the British American War. That was that was Satan versus Satan, man. So when we just saw what the news reporter said, rebel. That word rebel literally means back to war. So now these devils back at war, man. See that? So go ahead, give me what you got.
Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
Yep. Oh, another horse that was red. Now, horse translates to power. That's where you get, horsepower. Okay. Horse translates to power. It symbolizes power. It said, and it was red, which we all know by now. You should know that that's dealing with the so-called white man. All right. So really, the scripture's saying another power that went out. Another power.
Take peace from the earth.
To take peace from the earth. And this devil has accomplished that, man. He has accomplished what he was set out to do. He was set out to take peace from the earth. Okay? Go ahead.
And
they shall what?
Kill one another.
So that's what they did. These devils killed one another. And which the Civil War was the biggest war on American soil. That was the bloodiest war on American soil. Because when you go into the Civil War, it had different battles within that war. Like, I think Hamburger Hill or some shit. They got them different names for those different wars. Hey, that was a bloody war, man. Okay? Which the best way we can simplify this is if you throw out a damn steak to a pack of wild dogs, they're not going to diplomatically work out. They're going to tear each other's heads off, man, for their steak. So that's Esau. The only way they can rationalize things out is through their blessing, which is the sword. See that? Go ahead, read that again.
It says in Revelation 6 and 4, it said, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another.
Yep, and that they should kill one another. See that? Go ahead.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
And there was given unto him a great sword. And when was that sword given to him? Let's get that real quick.
This Genesis 27. Genesis 27 and 40.
I think like 40.
Yeah, all right, this Genesis 27 and so like 40, so like Genesis 27 and 40. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy
brother. Jump up to like 37.
All right.
We start weeping out.
Okay, this
38 or whatever.
All right, this Genesis, Genesis 27, 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou lifted up his voice and wept? And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew.
This blessing, right? Go ahead.
And by thy...
You know what? He's going to revert to the sword. See that? That's why I disperse the military. Or when you hear these presidents, right? When they campaign for themselves, or they try to jockey for position, what's the main thing they hang their hat on to try to gain the support of the American citizens, or the so-called white man? They said, look, the Second Amendment, your right to bear arms is going to remain intact. All right? So that's a form of them, getting the people on their side, the so-called white man. Because this man, he pretty much put his stock into the sword. Why? Because that's his blessing. That's a part of his DNA. See that? So that's how these devils quiet the grumblers, if you will. Look, you're going to have the right, you're going to remain, have your rights, to bear arms. See?
That's it.
But that goes back to the scriptures. See, read that one more time.
This back in Genesis 27 and 40. It said, and by thy shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Go ahead.
So pretty much, like you said, that's like what Ron said. That's how Esau rationalized things, man. It's by the sword, man. So that's what his history is riddled with, man. And as you can see, Esau, like, he didn't get his way. He cried till he got his blessing. Well, he ain't getting his way now, so how he's crying out by his weaponry, man. And he's going against himself, And like I said, this house is divided against each other. Even Edomites hate Amalekites, man. You know, even KKK, they even had a strong hate for you Amalekites, man, because you the one that got that piece of steak, and you ain't breaking them off, man.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
you know.
So that was it on that?
Yeah, that was pretty much the point. We want to go back to Revelation 6.
Go back to that.
All right.
We're going to go back over here.
Kind of Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another.
Right, and we gave you a couple of examples how this devil accomplished that. They fulfilled that prophecy. They did kill one another in the form of World War I, World War II, World War III, the three American wars, all right, the Civil War. Okay, go ahead.
It said, and there was given unto him a great...
So now let's play this again.
Texas, to a gym in New Jersey, to this restaurant in Colorado. Thousands of small business owners and customers alike are rebelling against coronavirus-related restrictions.
That's that key word.
Here in
They're
Minnesota,
rebelling, which again, the word rebel goes back to war. Okay? So you got something real quick?
Yeah, quick precept. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 15, and I'm going to start at verse Salakia. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 15. I'm going to start at verse Salakia. It just had. Yeah, verse 16, Salakia. It says, "But there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
Yep.
They should not regard their kings nor princes."
Right, and who are the kings or princes? The local authorities, you know, from the city councilman to the mayor to the governor, you know, to the president, man. They're not regarding their princes or kings. So what you're witnessing right now is Bible prophecy being fulfilled. See? Go ahead.
Continuing
So
on.
there's nothing but Edomites right there, man. Nothing but Edomites.
Yep.
Just like the scriptures say, a house divided cannot stand. We went into the definition for that word house. It goes into pretty much family, man, or kinsman. See? Go ahead.
Read it again. It says, "For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
Right, so they're not going to wait on the governor to tell them what to do. You know? The power, they're going to feel as if the power is in their hand. Right? So now, that was it on that? All right, go ahead.
A large crowd came out to support a bar owner, impatient to get back to work at all costs.
At all costs.
The state's attorney general has vowed to file suit against those who violate the orders.
If somebody told me that I'm going to take you to court if you don't stop doing the illegal thing that you're about to do, I might listen, and I wouldn't see it as a threat. I'd see it as hopefully some good advice.
The threat of legal action didn't prevent this New Jersey gym from reopening before scores of supporters. The scene ended in at least one arrest. In Texas, this hair salon owner whipped up a copy of the confinement.
Yeah, see, she didn't regard her kings or princes. This is an Edomite chick, and she ripped up the order of this, man. She ripped it up, you know? Go ahead. Had the support of armed protesters, okay, which was nothing but a band of damn Edomites walking with assault rifles, man. This is what's happening in America, man. And again, it's Edomites versus Edomites. Give me that, Isaiah. You got that?
Yep,
Let's go.
Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
This is biblical prophecy being fulfilled. This is unfolding right before your eyes, man. And these things is happening as a signet, pretty much, to show us where we at in the process. Could you give me that look up? I think it's Luke 21.
Oh,
Luke 21.
Yep.
Give me that. And give me, I think that's Matthew, the 12th chapter. Let's say, can you discern the times? What is it? 16.
15, 16. St. Matthew. Matthew 16.
Matthew 16. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, this St. Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come
What
to pass.
things, man? Read that again.
And when these things begin to come to pass.
See, that's why we got to thank Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. He gave us the ability to foresight and to anticipate the things that's on the horizon, man. The Lord gave us sight, you know. That's beautiful, man. The Lord actually gave us the ability to see. See that? Go ahead.
It said, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up.
Then look up. Go ahead.
And lift up your heads.
And lift up your head, meaning come out of that spirit of, you know, being down on yourself, you know, not seeing the qualities, you know, of being Jake, you know, because, you know, even if you're a 2/3, you're an Israelite. And at the end of the day, pursuant to the book, I think that's is that Romans, the 11th chapter, tells you that all Israel is going to be saved ultimately, man. You know? So the Lord said, look up, because this nightmare is about to be over. The Lord gives you signs and wonders, you know, that you can assess. You can major prophecy, man. The Egyptians being set against the Egyptians, that wound, that deadly wound, you know, the Lord dividing this house. Let's let you know that right now we right on the cusp of the so-called white man being overthrown and abased, which is going to mark the exalting of the nation of Israel, starting the elect, man. And amongst you believers out there that sincerely and wholeheartedly put your faith in this doctrine, in Yahweh Shem Shah, it's your time. We're in the time where the Lord is about to step in on your behalf, man. And you're about to see the deliverance, the promised deliverance to the children of Israel. This is an epic moment, man. Okay? This is bigger than just throwing on some damn fringes, man, and throwing around the Hebrew lingo, man. We coming into a time now where the Lord is about to spring into action, man. The same power that you read about in the time of Pharaoh, man. You know, those great works.
Yep.
We in a time we about to spring into action and work, man.
That's it.
See that? Go ahead,
God, it said, start again, it's St. Luke 21:28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
For our redemption draweth nigh. What redemption mean, man? The Lord is about to buy us back, man.
That's it.
The Lord is about to claim us, you know. The Lord is about to purchase us once more, man. Okay, the Lord have extended somewhat of a peace offering once more to the children of Israel, man. And this is a time where even the creatures, the fowls of the air, the fish of the sea, the creepy crawling things, and the beasts of the field, they've been anticipating this moment, man. The planet Earth itself has been anticipating the moment when the Lord will once more join himself to his people, man. Well, guess what? We're in that time. And how do we know that? Because we witnessing major prophecies, things that we read is playing out right before our eyes, man. That's why when you read Revelation 19th chapter, it tells you that the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, man. See, and that's why, again, read this one more time, man.
God, it says, and when these things begin to come to pass.
See, and when these things begin to come to pass, see that? That wasn't just written. That wasn't written for nothing, man. See that? Go ahead.
It said, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up.
Woo! Go ahead.
And lift up your heads.
Woo!
For your redemption draweth
Give me Romans. Is that 13 and 11?
Yep, that's
Get
it.
that real quick.
That's it.
You know? This is the time that the prophets inquired about, man. This is the time when you read Ezra. This is the time he was looking to, man. This is the time that was written, you know, as the climax of existence that's going to usher in the return of Yahweh Shai. You know? We in that time. Go ahead,
Yeah, this book of Romans 13:11. And that, knowing the time.
Hold up. Whoa. And that knowing what?
The time.
The time. Give me 2nd Ezra the 9th chapter. And while you getting that, go to 1 Thessalonians 5 real quick. See, when the scriptures say that the words, this book, right? It said the words I speak to unto you, they are life. What life captures? Instincts. When you dead, you don't got things. You can feel like you throw on clothes for the you know, for that weather, that particular season. All right? That's because you're alive. You can smell, you can breathe, you can taste. Yeah, your operations, right. Oh, you know what that at? Give me that real quick. Let's get that real quick. Read what you got.
This book of 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently.
See, there go the time again. Measure thou the time diligently. Go ahead.
In itself.
In itself.
And when thou seest part of the signs.
Or not, we measuring the time diligently. Every night, and you got men throughout Great Millstone, every day, every night, is someone in this body that's measuring the time diligent. You know, if it's not highlighting what we highlighting tonight, or either they highlighting the mark of the beast, or, you know, currents, that's diligently measuring the time. You know, go ahead.
It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before,
go ahead.
Then thou shalt understand.
Then you're going to understand. Go ahead.
That it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
So we are not oblivious to what time we. Before you read that, go to
Thessalonians.
Uh-huh.
All right, Con, this 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren. Yeah.
Oh, it said of the time and the seasons, brethren, right? That's personalized. Meaning, here in the latter days, there will be certain spirits that's going to be aware of they're going to have a feel for what's going on here on the planet Earth. We're going to know the pulse of the planet. Go ahead.
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night.
Yep, go ahead.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them, that travail upon a woman with child,
Yep.
and they shall not escape.
Yep, continue.
He said, but ye, brethren, are not in the darkness.
See, we're not in the darkness, man. See, go ahead.
That day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light.
Right. That means that we are under the vibration of Yahweh Shem Shai. Which when you read 1 Samuel 2 and 3, it tells you how the Lord is the power of knowledge. So what's that light? Knowledge. We are the children of light. You know? Go ahead.
He said, ye are the children of the night, and
Read
the
that
children, like ye are the children of the light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness.
Right, meaning we're not in the dark about what's happening here on the planet Earth. We see perfectly well what's going on. All right, go ahead.
God, it says, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
Right, meaning we have our faculties.
Yep.
You know, all of our operations. And what gives us that edge is truth. So give me what you got.
Yeah, God, this is Sirach 17, Ecclesiastes 17, and I'm start at 4. And put the fear of man upon our flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the five operations of the Lord.
Right, hold up. So it says we receive the use of the five operations of the Lord. What's the five operations of the Lord? Seeing, hearing, tasting. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. That's the five operations, right? But guess what? Animals have that. Even animals have that, right? Continue.
He said, and in the sixth place.
So in the sixth place, so there's more operations. All right, you have five operations, right? That even the animals share. Again, seeing, tasting, hearing, touching, and smelling, right? Those are the basic operations that even animals have.
Yep.
See? But there's a sixth. Go ahead.
It said, and the sixth
Go ahead.
place he imparted them understanding.
Woo! Imparted them understanding. Animals don't possess that. Brute beasts don't possess that, right? Because the brute beast will take a dump on the ground. But guess what? You people out there outside of this truth don't possess that. You're a brute beast. Let's prove that. Give me 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter, in the 12th verse. And I think it's also in Jude too.
Yeah, yeah.
Find it, I think it's Jude the 6th verse. Go ahead. 2 Peter 2 and 12.
Here's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and 12. It said, but these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed.
What that's talking about? That's talking about people, man.
Yep.
But the scriptures call them brute beasts. Why? Because they only possess those five operations. They don't have the sixth operation, which is understanding. So that makes you a brute beast, man. See? You want to read that again?
No, it's a morning.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
But hold up. Did you find that in Jude?
Jude 1 and 6, the ancient stick.
No, that ain't what I want. Filthy Dreamers.
53, I think that's
No, yeah, go see if there's more. Yep, that's it right here, 10.
Alright, verse 10. It's on Jude 10. It says, but these speak evil of those things.
Right, you got scoffers and scorners, unbelievers. They speak evil of what things? It's truth. Go ahead.
Which they know not.
Which they know not. Why? Because they have not been given understanding. Go ahead.
What they know naturally. But what they know naturally as brute beasts.
See, what they know naturally as brute beasts. And that's why when you read 1 Corinthians, it said, the natural man receive not. See? But they know naturally as brute beasts. So the only thing you in the same category as an animal, man. You know, there's nothing. There's no difference between you and an animal. You know, you eat, smell, talk shit. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It says, as brute beasts in those things, they corrupt themselves.
Right. See, they corrupt themselves. So read 2 Peter again.
God, it's 2 Peter 2 and 12. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things.
Right. Just like an animal is made to be taken and destroyed. Right. Go ahead.
It says, speak evil of the things that they understand not.
See that they understand not. See that? So now let's go back to where you was at and read it from the top.
All right, God, this Ecclesiastes, Sirach 17 and 5. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place, He imparted them understanding.
Right. So they lack that, right? Understanding. Go ahead. And what's the 7?
It said, and in the 7th,
Which 7 symbolizes what? Completion, right? Go ahead.
speech
Speech. Go ahead.
and interpreter of the cogitations thereof.
Of the cognitation thereof, right? So who is speaking? We the only ones speaking, man. They dumb. Let's prove that. Give me Exodus 4.
That's it.
Yeah, they talking shit, but they not speaking. You know, because they not speaking the words of Yahweh by Shemiah Shah.
Yep.
All right, 4 and 10. I think it is.
God. Let's see. This is Exodus, the book of Exodus, chapter 4.
And the Spirit got us kind of segueing a little. We gonna get back, you know.
Let's see.
Spirit, man.
Yep.
Right.
Exodus 4. And 10 said, Moses said unto the Lord, O Lord, I'm not eloquent, neither hear therefore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I'm slow of speech and slow of tongue. Who have made man's mouth?
Right. Who has made man's mouth? Go ahead.
Or who maketh the deaf or dumb?
Right. The deaf or dumb. So everybody outside of this truth who are not speaking the words of Yahweh by Shemiah Shah will be considered deaf and dumb. Okay. Meaning, they don't. Dumb meaning can't speak. Meaning they're not teaching. And deaf meaning they're not even in the hearing. They can't even hear. Right.
It said,
Go ahead.
or the seeing,
Or the sin, meaning having vision, right? Go ahead.
or the light. I mean, or it's like, or the blind.
Or the
have,
blind.
Have I not the Lord?
Right, So now, that was it right there? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, kind. I think that was the point in Sirach.
Yeah, that was the point on the Sirach. All right, so now let's, we was doing that? I think that was it on that. All right, let's go to the article real quick. You got it.
Okay, kind. All right.
So yeah, let's put it back full circle.
Okay, yeah. So this is the article. Which you want that? The one you sent first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me get this. It's Salakia. Okay, yeah. This is from Deadline.com. It said ABC News to devote special coverage to racial, socioeconomic divides is in coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah, read that again.
All right, it says ABC News to devote.
All right, so ABC News is going to devote special coverage to what?
Socioeconomic
racial and social economic. Go ahead.
Divides.
See, divides. Go ahead.
In coronavirus pandemic.
In coronavirus pandemic. So the Lord have sent forth this coronavirus, which, hey, let's say if this is something conjured up by Esau, you know, in order to, you know, cement his agenda, right? Or let's say it was brought forth by Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Either way, it goes back to the Heavenly Father, man. Okay? Because there's nothing hidden from Yahweh Shemiah Shah. So, in essence, this coronavirus, this pandemic itself has created a division, man. A great division amongst the so-called white man. You know? Yep, read that, and we was at Isaiah 19.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
All right, kind.
And did you have something in that?
It just pretty much it's just the TV show with the series calls A Nation Divided.
Oh, okay, Kyle. Oh,
That's what we're going into.
Well, that's spirit.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going into. That's pretty much what the TV show.
Okay, well, you know what? Go to the other article, and you ain't got to read into that one either. Let's just read the headline. You know, the little. I think that's it right there.
Yeah.
Now let me see. Yeah, we're going to the pandemic right there. Yeah.
Okay.
We ain't got to read into it. Let's just read the key. And when did that come out?
This came out 2 days ago.
It came out 2 days ago. All right, go ahead.
All right, Con, this is ABC News. Go.
ABC News, which that's a reliable source, right? Go ahead.
Con, it says pandemic, a nation divided.
Hold up, read that again.
Pandemic, a nation divided.
You can't make that up. Let's go back to Matthew again. Man.
God.
Let's go back to Matthew again before we move forward. So you see what current events can only be filtered through the scriptures, man. You can't go to any of these other texts, any of these other sources, and highlight the things that's happening on the planet Earth, man. That shows you that this is the most powerful book on the planet Earth. The Bible reigns supreme. Why? Because these are the words of Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai. All right? Sent forth to his men to convey and to express to the believers. Really, this is above the strength of anybody out there unless the Lord designed you a certain way to be able to digest this, man. And that shows you how bad the Lord is. The Lord could have, hey, that shows you that this is a secret counsel indeed, man. You know? Go ahead.
Kind of St. Matthew 12:26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided.
Oh, was that the spirit? The brother had information about how Trump, he kicked out certain members of his cabinet. That's Satan that's a form of Satan casting out Satan. See that? Read that again.
It said, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself.
He is divided against himself. Go ahead.
How shall then his kingdom stand?
How then shall his kingdom stand? Now read that again. That headline.
It said, pandemic, a nation divided.
A nation divided. You can't make this stuff up, man. Go ahead.
3 days of coverage starting on ABC. So that's
that was pretty much
that was pretty much
I just wanted the headline.
Yeah.
All right, so now you go back to where you was at.
All right, just back in Isaiah 19:2 again. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Right, and the Egyptians, the modern day Egyptians would be you Americans, man. You know? The Lord said he's going to set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Yep. See? Go ahead.
And they shall fight everyone against his brother.
Woo! And that's that house divided, man. That's that flesh, man. See that?
Yep.
That's that flesh divided. Matter of fact, give me, I think that's Jeremiah 51.
Yep.
Jeremiah 51. So again, let's recap this, man. We started off by going into the fact that the Lord said he would wound the dragon. When we went into that word wound, it means to divide the skin or the flesh. In the scriptures, from a symbolic point of view, the flesh symbolizes what? Family. See that? Family. So when the flesh is separated, what it does, it creates a wound. See? So give me what you got.
God, this is Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How far?
Yep.
Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon.
Yep.
But she is not healed.
Why? Because this is a deadly wound. The flesh is divided. The house is divided. See? Go ahead.
Forsake her. And let us go everyone into his own country.
Right now, why would you say, oh, this guy Biden, he made the statement that you got to be black or something to believe. Because Jack is the only one sitting there trying to nurse this bitch back to health, man. You know, when you watch certain movies dedicated, you know, you might have a soldier that received a grave and wound. And what happened? They said, man, oh, Minister Society. They always come to spirit. When Kane's cousin Harold, all right, got killed at the light, Sharif said, Sharif wanted to stay there with him. But Oda said, that nigga's dead, man. That's the spirit we should be in. We should be in that spirit. This nigga's dead. This wound is too grave. All right, and we see it. These motherfuckers divided. They got weapons, man. They ready to kill each other, man. You don't subscribe to this shit. They ready to kill each other, man. That's that wound. That's that flesh divided. See? Go ahead.
It says, it said, and let us go everyone into his own country for her judgment.
Read that again.
Okay, God. It said, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Right.
Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country for her judgment reacheth unto
What is with
heaven.
the brother part again?
Oh, you want back in Isaiah? Oh, so like
yeah, that one.
okay, this back in Isaiah 19:2. It says.
Yeah, okay. Go back. I want you to go back to where you was at too, though.
Okay, all right.
Go back here with the brother.
Okay, all right. So this Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother.
See, against his brother.
Yep.
So that's the flesh that's divided. See, the family. Go ahead.
God, It says neighbor.
See, and everyone against his neighbor. See that? Go ahead. Hey, let's look up that word real quick, just for edification's sake. Let's look up neighbor. You know, we pretty much know what brother is. Let's just see what the scriptures say with neighbor. All right? Again, how can two walk unless they agree? You know, once. Hey, what was one of the things that marked, you know, the demise, if you will, of Israel? When you go into the curses, one of the things the Lord plagued us with was we would have an evil eye toward our brother, man. You see what I'm saying? That contributed to us not being able to stand. That's not something to gloss over when the very ones in your household is your enemies, man. You know? That creates a chink in the armor. You can have leaks. You know, somebody can set you up. You know, you could be betrayed. There'd be a lot of betrayal. See that? So this right here, what's going on with Esau, this is epic. It's beautiful, man. God. That's why scriptures say, the 9 things I judge happy in my heart. So that he that lived to see the fall of his enemy. When somebody fall, it's a process. And it's usually funny, man. Motherfucker reaching. Go ahead.
God, yeah, this is on the word neighbor. Strong's 87453. Ra'ah. And it's pretty much it says an associate, brother, companion.
Brother, see, brother. That's what neighbor, right? Brother.
Yep. Brother, companion, fellow, friend, husband, lover, neighbor. Pretty much that's pretty much it.
So pretty much family. All right. So you can go back up.
All right. So this I'm reading again. Isaiah 19:2 said, "And I will say the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother."
Right, and that's what you're witnessing, man. These devils is fighting one another, man, and that's going to intensify, man. You know. Go ahead.
And every one against his neighbor.
Right, because just to make a quick point, you know, when these devils begin to mandate, you know, this testing and shit like that, it's going to be Edomites that's going to be bucking up against that, man. You're going to have a lot of Jakes too, but, you know, Esau, that's why the scriptures say the children of this world is wiser than them. They know about the diabolical plans of the bankers. They know about, you know, this cabal, if you will, to cancel out the Constitution. You know that these devils, they're always hollering about the Constitution, man. So that in itself is that powder keg. That's that friction that's going to, you know, that tension that's going to blow over. They know, look, motherfucker, you mean tell me the Constitution suspended, and they're going to lose it. See? Yeah, go ahead.
It says city against city.
Yep, city against city.
And kingdom against kingdom.
And kingdom against kingdom. Right, which covers all Edomites. From city to city, village to village, to kingdom. You got Russians and Germans. You know, all these different Edomites is jockeying for position against each other. Right? You got more when it's Isaiah 19. Right? Yeah, continue.
Okay, come on. All right. So Isaiah 19:3, it said, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof."
Right, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. Like this spirit of triumph. You know, there's a certain spirit that came with America. And it was like a spirit of triumph. You know, no matter what we face with. Matter of fact, give me Psalm 49:11. No matter what adversity we might be faced with, we'll overcome. Give me Malachi 1:4. Right? Give me what you got.
Because it's the book of Psalms 49 verse 11.
Yep.
Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Right, so that's the spirit of the average American. That's the spirit that lingers through this place, man. They feel as if this place is going to continue forever. You know, as if they're going to pass down, you know, things from generation to generation. They're going to create a soft landing for their kids and their kids after that. See that? Go ahead.
It says in their dwelling places to all generations.
Yeah, see, in their dwelling places to all generations. See that? Go ahead.
They call their lands after their own names.
See that? Right here in America. All right? So give me what you got.
God, this is Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom said, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places."
Right, that's that spirit of triumph. All right, which that was fulfilled here in America. After ancient Rome fell, they did rebuild the desolate places. That was that deadly wound that was here, right? So that proved that these the same devils that from back then. Because what's the rallying cry now? Make America great again. See? Go ahead.
It says, "Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call on the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have hit the nation forever."
See that? All right.
That's it.
You got something?
So,
Go ahead.
yeah. This is the book on Isaiah 47, verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
Okay.
So thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
Yep, read that one more time.
It says, and thou saidest that I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
What things? The prophecies, man. You didn't lay it to your heart that you had an expiration date, so to speak. You thought you were going to be a lady forever. You thought you were going to be the glory of kingdom, man. You know, the place where everybody flocked to. You know, that was a time where America was looked at as Eden. You know, these different nations. That's in, I think that's Ezekiel, is that the 17th chapter? No, the 31st chapter.
Yeah.
Where it goes into how that great tree that was dealing with America and how the birds settled their nest there. But that was symbolic to all these different nations coming over here to create a soft land for their kids, you know, to create a future. But guess what? This place is not tender and delicate anymore, man. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Right. You didn't remember the latter end. The fact that Yahweh Shema Shah was going to visit you, man. You know? Go ahead.
It says, therefore, hear now this.
Hey, that's the same with like a woman, you know, which America is known as a harlot. You know, a harlot in her prime, she just in it for the moment. She don't think about the long run. She knows she look good, you know, but she don't anticipate the day when those titties begin to sag, and, you know, and she begin to become old, you know, and she ain't got that luster and shine she once had. That's why when you read Isaiah the 24th chapter, it tells you that no man shall come into her. See that? Yep, go ahead.
Verse 8, it says, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures.
Which this place is set up to please the flesh. It is geared to pleasure. Man, tell me, this place ain't geared to pleasure, man. When, if you want, you got a taste for something, you can go to your Grubhub app, and you ain't got to move, you know what I mean? Just flick the remote, and you can give them instructions, knock on the door, yeah. This place is giving the pleasure, right? Go ahead.
It says that dwellest carelessly.
Yeah, you do dwell carelessly here in America. All right? Go ahead.
That says in thine heart, I am, and none else.
Right, and that's what Esau said. Esau really look at themselves as the Most High, man. You know, they try to cancel out any idea of there being a higher power, man. Case in point, the Big Bang Theory, man. That's these devils vehemently, they adamantly come up with an idea of trying to, you know, offset the idea of a higher power, man. Talking about a goddamn gas ball exploded. All of a sudden you got everything you see. A damn turtle, okay? As intricate and precise as a turtle is, with the shell, and he can go back into the shit. You know what I mean? That was just a coincidence. That was just random. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Go ahead.
Continuing on, it says, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Right, and that's what these devils believe. Okay? What, that was it? All right. So now let's go back here.
God, this Isaiah 19:3.
Yep.
And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof.
Yeah, the Lord is going to destroy the counsel thereof. And that's what happened. We kind of briefly touched on that. How, you know, everything, these devils thought that they had, you know, they always go with the same formula. You know, that order ab chaos. They create the situation and they come in, they swoop in with the solution. Well, this didn't really work, man. Because now they got the different governors and different people with position that's lobbying to open the cities back up. So their counsel failed, man. We know that these devils were looking to seize this opportunity, man. That's why they like, you know what? We'll try again in the winter. That's why they're saying, there's another coronavirus coming, motherfuckers. You know, we're gonna relent right now, but it's another one coming. See what I'm saying? Come on, man. We can see right through your shit, man. Why? Because you have been made better. Oh, the scripture said the Lord's going to make better. Yeah, which that's Edomite. That's Esau. You know, the Romans. You know. Yep. Go ahead.
It says, the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof.
Right.
And they shall seek to the idols And to the charmers.
Right, and that's what they're doing. They're going to their prognosticators on the left-hand side. They're trying to, I saw some of these devils, they're looking to the left-hand side. They're like, man, we got to put we got to weigh that one. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. Jot that.
Yeah, that's a number. It says, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits,
right,
and to the wizards.
Yep, see it? That actually happens here in America, man. This place is known as the land of the Chaldeans. Okay? Right?
It said, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them.
Yep.
Said the Lord of hosts.
Read.
And the water shall fare from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up.
Yep.
And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of the fence shall be emptied and dried up.
Right, yeah, just like a harlot, man. Once she was luscious, then she began to dry up, man. So much so that no man may come in. All right? Give me what you got real quick.
This is the book of Ezekiel 17, verse 24. And all the trees of the field shall know.
Right, all the trees of the field, somebody to all these different nations. Go ahead.
That shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree.
Right, what's the high tree? America, the so-called white man. That's why when you read, matter of fact, hold that, give me Obadiah, I think it's the 3rd verse. Read that one more time, while he getting that.
This is the book of Ezekiel 17, verse 24. It says, and all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree.
The high tree.
Have exalted the low tree.
Right, the Lord said going to bring down the high tree. Let's find out who the high tree is. Go ahead.
God, this Obadiah, verse 3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee.
Yep.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high.
It's dealing with Esau, man. Across the board, your habitation is high. From your high rises and skyscrapers and condominiums, these big buildings, right? Even to your thought process, you high-minded. See? Go ahead.
That saith in his heart.
See, that saith in his heart. It's high mind. Go ahead.
Who shall bring me down?
Who shall bring me down from this high state? But guess what? The Lord is bringing you down. Right. Let's read that again, you devil. Go ahead.
It says, and all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree.
Yeah, so the Lord, it took the Lord to bring this devil down, man. Got Jake with M16s and shit like that, man. Man, these devils got weapons that fucks with your mental capacity. It fuck up your faculties. Or it make you feel like you're on fire. Yeah. You become discombobulated. These devils got weapons. That's why the scripture said he was given a great sword. A great sword. Meaning his weaponry is heavy, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, have exalted the low tree.
Right, the low tree, which would be us, we're now being exalted as heavy because you're going to the seed. What grew us? The word. The scripture seed is the word. So this word we're planting, and all of a sudden we sprout, we growing. See? Go ahead.
Have dried up the green tree.
Whoa, see? The Lord is drying up the green tree. That's why the America, as you once knew it, has lost its luster and its shine. See, you got something?
Oh, no, I ain't got nothing.
Go ahead. So you still holding what you got?
Yeah.
And have made the dry tree to flourish.
Right, and we was dry. Right? We're going to let you read it again. We was dry, right? Which links up with what? Ezekiel 37 chapter. Dry bones. Read that again.
It says, have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, and have made the dry tree to flourish.
Yeah.
I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it.
Right, so that's bad. The Lord spoke it into existence and it came to pass. See? All right, so let's go back here.
This Isaiah 19:6. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of the fence shall be emptied and dried up.
See that? Go ahead. We dealing with the Egyptians. We dealing with the so-called white man. Okay? And in his pursuit to power, man, this devil, man, he greatly offended, man. All right? Go ahead.
The reeds and flags shall wither.
Read.
It says, the paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither. Be driven away and be no more.
Be driven away and be no more. Go ahead.
It said the fishers also shall mourn.
The who?
The fishers also shall mourn.
Yeah, the fishers also shall mourn. Really when you go into America, they was made great from the waters. I think that's in Ezekiel.
Is that 17?
Yeah, that's Ezekiel 17. Tell you that, man, you want to get that, man. But that's bad. Oh, also when you read Revelation 17 chapter, about the whore that sit on many waters, we know that they're dealing with the nations, but it's also symbolic to this is what made America great. You know,
the shipmasters mourn.
The shipmasters mourn. That's the fishers. Because a fisher is not necessarily just catching fish. Fishers would bring anything from the sea. Okay? You bring cars, you bring whatever imports. You're a fisher, man. And that's what made America great. See? Read that again.
It said, the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brook shall lament.
Yeah.
And that they, it's like, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish.
See?
It said, moreover, they that work in fine flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded.
Right, that's what happening right now.
That's it.
You know? That's why this whole process about they want to get back to work and blah, blah, blah. See? Go ahead.
It says, and they shall be broken in the purpose thereof, all that make sluices and ponds for fish.
Yep, go ahead.
Surely the princes of Zion are foolish, are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish.
Brute beef.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It said, how say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Where are they? Where are thy wise men?
Yeah, where are your wise men? Your counsel is perishing, man. You know, you can clearly see Esau reaching, man. See? Go ahead.
It says, and let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, power of hosts, have purpose upon Egypt.
Right, that's it, upon America. This is the Lord's purpose, what you're witnessing right here. See? Go ahead.
He said the princes of Zion are become fools, the princes of Nob are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the state of the tribes thereof. The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof.
The Lord have mingled a what?
A perverse spirit in the midst thereof.
You look up that word real quick. You got to piece up? Lord sprinkled a spirit amidst Egypt, man. You know, like you spike somebody to drink.
Yep, that's
and
it.
you see them start to... You know? That's what's happening here in America, man. We can see the fall and the collapse. This is an epic fall, man. See, when you understand, that's why it's important to have a feel, you know, somewhat of a feel for history, you know? Because, you know, when you do, you appreciate what's happening now. And you understand that the so-called white man pretty much had a dynasty, man. You know, what this man did, that's why the scriptures say this fourth beast was more diverse, and he was dreadful, more dreadful. See?
Yep.
Why did it say that? Because it was never saying such a thing, man. Where you got airstrikes, man. You got aerial attacks. Egypt didn't have that. Egypt was chasing us on horses and chariots, man. All right. Oh, when you consider who that was? Was that the Persians?
Yeah, you talking about
the dark in the sky with the arrows. Them people at that time, the contemporaries at that time, they thought, oh shit, they got it on lock. They didn't see such a thing as goddamn fighter jets, man. See that? So with the Lord bringing this man down, that's heavy, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys. So this is the word reverse. Strong H5773. Avad. And it says distorting, perverting, warping. So that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it, like distorting.
Yep.
Which one is deep into
Alright, kind. Alright. This word distorting. It says pour or twist out of shape. A grimace distorted her mouth. No, I don't see.
Okay.
Become twisted out of shape.
Okay.
The alteration of the original shape or something.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can see where that tie into this. Because, you know, you have an original shape, and you bend it out of shape, you know?
Yep.
You know?
Yep,
so go ahead.
Yeah, that was it.
Let's go next.
All right, Isaiah 19:14.
I mean, you know, we look up words, you know? Go ahead.
It said, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
Yeah, so everything Egypt is doing, everything the so-called white man is error, man. You know? Because right now, even with their allies, you got the allies pulling out.
Yep.
You know, certain nations they pulling out. They're not committed to America as once before. Shit, this devil is at the border of war, man. Everything he's trying, he's erring in. And that proves that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah is taking that power away from him. Go ahead.
It says, and they have called Egypt to Aaron every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit.
Right, go ahead.
Neither shall there be any work for Egypt.
Right, and you see that. You know, nobody has jobs anymore. You know, go ahead.
Which the head or tail.
Yeah, which the head or tail, you know, from you know, these business owners, you know, and the major business down to the damn bag boy or cashier at Walmart. All right, go ahead.
It says, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Every one that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he have determined against it.
Right, so the Lord determined this, and who can disannul it? All right? So real quick, give me Jeremiah, I think that's Jeremiah 30 and 24. You got something?
All right,
so what you're witnessing right now, again, is Bible prophecy. You know, everything that you see unfolding, the Lord sanctioned it. You know, and there's nothing Esau could do. Like, Esau can't come together. Matter of fact, could you give me, I think is that 2 Ezra 16? The arrow, the shot. Who could turn it back?
Yep, that's it.
Starting like the third verse.
This is the book of 2 Ezra 16 and verse 3. It says, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?
Go ahead.
A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?
Meaning, who can squash this beef? Nobody can quench what the Lord has already started. This fire that the Lord has set. There's a wildfire right here, man, in the form of His word. Oh, this tells you that His word is as a fire. See? Go ahead.
It says, plagues are sent unto you, and wet is he that may drive them away.
Right, so who is the guy that can step in and drive this away? You know, like you consider them rap beefs, they're summoned for Farrakhan. He'll come and squash, calm everybody down. No, that's not going to happen here, man. See? Go ahead.
Verse 6, it says, may any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood?
That's it.
Or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn?
Go ahead.
May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer?
Yeah, you shoot a gun, you can't bring that bullet back. It's already left the gates, man. See, the horse has left the gates. The cat is out the bag. And the prophecies has went out and settled into the world, man. And that's Isaiah the 55th chapter. As the rain come down and water the earth, and bud.
Yeah, that's it.
See, go ahead.
Verse 8, it says, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues,
Yep.
and who is he that can drive them away?
No one can drive them away. Why? Because the Lord have intended it. See? And that's why we read the prophecies concerning the Lord thrusting the Egyptians against the Egyptians, his house being divided. You know, the Lord hitting the dragon with that deadly wound. Nobody can heal that. We would have healed Babylon. Nobody can bring that wound back.
Yeah, that's it.
It's too much of a deep divide. See? So let's end off right here.
This Jeremiah 30 and 24. The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return.
Right. The Lord is not going to squash it, man. See? Go ahead.
Until he have done it.
Until he have done what?
And until he have performed the intents of his heart.
Until he have performed the intents of his heart. See? Just like a movie director. He gets an inspiration and he want to make a certain movie. Whatever movie you might think of. You know, let's go back to Menace to Society. And give a damn how many times you yell at the TV, you tell Kane, don't go there, you know, go there, just go there alone, just go. He's going to die, man. Why? Because it was the intents and purposes of the director of the movie.
Yeah, that's it.
You yelling at the TV and shit, Kane. Well, Cain gonna die. That's the spirit. Cain, he's gonna die at the end. Esau, Cain's gonna die. All right, go ahead.
God, it says, the fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until you have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days, ye shall consider it.
Now, when you look up that word consider, you know, it translates to teach. So the scripture said in the latter days, we're going to teach this idea of the Lord being the one to set the stage, you know, and to pretty much conjure up life and existence itself. So everything you're witnessing right now is biblical prophecy. And again, this should give you more incentive to thank Yahweh Shai for giving you a glimpse, if you will, into some of his more intimate plans and purposes concerning the destruction of this place and the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash.
Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders, great millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers as well as you believers, the Akim and Aqua brothers and sisters alike that subscribe to the truth as well. Till next time, Shalom.
Shalom. VTA, abide for ball.